you're judging the wave before you're even on it. Trust the idea is to let them flow through you instead of blocking the energy.
I'm going to do it now.
Monica!
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Where's home for you?
Connecticut, Niantic, Connecticut.
Okay, very cool. So Monica's a part of the Movement Maker program that I have, and I'm here to help. So what do you got?
Great. Wow, so that's what I'm here to discover. That's what I wanted. I've got so much going on in the head, and I wanted to find out what are thoughts that are ego-driven, and what is divine inspiration. You know, I wonder if I have shiny object syndrome. I have 3 home businesses. I'm starting a 4th, and I have this vision of creating a new form of recovering from addictions, from alcohol and drugs.
Wow.
There might be a new way that is possible. I don't know what it is, but I don't think Thomas Edison knew. Obviously, he didn't know. He tried 10,000 times to create the light bulb, right?
Yeah.
But he had some idea that there was a possibility. He had some desire. Was it his ego, or was it his something divine that was some desire, of the Father? It was given to him, and it's strong, in his heart. So I don't know. This idea was given to me that I might be able to bring the greatest minds together, or I don't know.
Okay, so a couple things in there. First off, to determine if it's ego-driven or not, the 2 filters I use are, 1, am I proud of the reason behind this? Am I proud of what I'm doing? Like, this is just when you are by yourself, not when you're talking about it to anybody else, friends, family. Just when you're by yourself, are you proud of the work that you're doing? And normally, I get a yes when it's filtered through service. So it's not ego-driven if it's going to help other people, right? Like the main reason. And there's always a little piece of it, like, hey, it'd be great for you to be on that stage or write that book or whatever. But the driving factor has to be, I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. So this idea of helping people overcome addictions, what's the real reason behind it? Is it because I need to make my name for myself, or
not really.
I want to help people who have these addictions because you had an addiction, or your friends have an addiction, or someone in your family had an addiction. Like, there's got to be a really core belief, a really core desire to serve. And if you're making your decisions through the lens of serving others, you're almost never going to go wrong in terms of picking the right one.
Well, I think that's why we're here, to serve. You hit the nail on the head. Service. It is what life is really about. It's about, it's how we connect with other human beings. When that's missing from our lives, we feel empty. We feel lost. We do, that's how we get social endorphins or spiritual endorphins, by connecting with other people, by giving back. That's how we get that lifting up, lightness, feeling, and get out of ourselves, is by giving back. And if you don't have money, you just give from where you are. And I just, I'm moving from Connecticut to Los Angeles, and I don't know why I'm doing it. I just wanted to for a long time. So I just thought, there's never a right time. I'm just going to go. I just gave myself an arbitrary date, and it's December, and California's on fire from what I hear.
Yeah.
I don't have a TV, so I don't know. I just hear, but I'm going to go. And there are a lot of homeless people in Los Angeles, and I feel like the common denominator to homelessness is usually it's addiction. And there's so many people that fall through the cracks, that are forgotten. When a series of traumatic events occurs, people shift in their vibrations, and they become difficult to deal with, and people don't want to deal with them. They have a difficult time coping with the world around them, and they slip through the cracks. And I feel like there's got to be better way, an easier way, or a more attractive way to recover. And with everything that I'm experiencing right now, I have a coach now with Tony Robbins, coaching, Tony Robbins Research or whatever it's called, his team, and I'm researching Dr. Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural, and with all the different ways to recover ourselves, I think that with bringing our greatest minds together.
As I'm hearing you talking, I would try to focus in on riding those vibrational waves.
Riding them myself, I think.
Riding them yourself.
Exactly.
Yes, like as they come to you, not over judging the idea, and just starting. The biggest thing missing is just momentum. So you may not know how it all fits out. Like you won't.
I have no idea.
But then now reducing. So now you're in the business of riding vibrational waves as they come to you, and then reducing the barrier of what it takes to get on the wave. So you don't have to move to Los Angeles. You can just go visit. It's like you got an idea for LA, go book your ticket and go visit. Before you have to make a decision. Like that's riding the wave, right? You're trying to like predict where it's going to be, and you're stressed out about where does it look like? What does it look like when I get there? Don't worry about that yet. Get on the wave. You might go to LA and hate it and then get some other wave to move to New Jersey. I don't know. Come to Canada. Or you might get there and in your head it might be homelessness, but when you get there, it might be the wildfires. When you get there, it might be something totally different, right?
Yeah.
You won't know till you get there. So like you're judging the wave before you're even on it. It's coming to you, but you're just watching it instead of getting on the wave.
Right.
So
be the wave.
So, like as soon as you get it, you do something about it. So
take that massive action, right?
You don't need to have even you get a new idea. It doesn't have to be. You said you have 3 businesses, you're starting a 4th. It doesn't even have to be a business yet. Just start the thing before worrying about company name and bank accounts and structure and website and Instagram accounts and all that stuff. You just start. You get an idea, you do something with it. To trust the ideas, to let them flow through you instead of blocking the energy, blocking the vibration because the judging it blocks the energy. Because you don't even try to understand
intellectualize it. Just
exactly. Because your head is always going to be practical and keep you small and mostly find reasons why you can't do it.
Absolutely. I agree. Completely.
So it's just reducing, you've already got them coming to you. It's reducing the friction to jump on the wave in the smallest way possible, right? Like you don't have to move to LA, just go and see.
Right. Yeah, I agree. 100%. I will do just that. I will.
So like by December, like you're going to put a block on the vibration until December? Like go this week?
Yeah, I want to go. Yeah, I should just go. I'll just go. I'm going today at 3, going to the bank. I've never asked for money in my life from anyone or anything. So I'm going for the first time because my coach and everything. So I'm going to ask for a loan. So I'm excited because this is a big limiting belief that I'm overcoming. So so I'm going to the bank to ask for a loan, and I'm going to get it, and it's going to start the process. And because the universe is friendly for my designs, right?
It's just making it as small as possible to get there and not making it some big thing.
Right.
When I did my tour last year, I was walking outside on a Wednesday afternoon, and I decided that I was going to take my wife, Nina. I'm enjoying the sun. I'm thinking about my wife, who's, she had a job at the time. She was working. And I said, my wife likes to travel. I want to take her to every city in America with 1 million people.
With 1 million people.
1 million people plus. I'm going to take her to every city in America with 1 million people plus. Where does that idea come from? I don't know.
Well, it comes from somewhere because you had the thought, right?
Of course, but it's like I'm not judging where it came from, and I'm not judging like what most people would then do is say, okay, well, how many cities are there in America? I don't know. How do I get to the first city? I don't know. Like most people default to planning mode. The very next thing I did was I got the idea. I messaged my wife and said, hey, Nina, we're going to do this. I'm going to take you every city in North America with 1 million plus people. It's Wednesday. This weekend, we're going to go to Boston. I'd been there. She hadn't been there. I'm in Toronto. I thought it was the closest city to me with 1 million plus people. It actually wasn't. Pittsburgh was closer. Columbus was closer. You know, like other cities were closer, but it doesn't matter. Like imperfect action. Then I messaged my videographer.
I got synchronicity. So what happened?
I messaged my camera guys and said, hey guys, we're going to go to Boston this weekend. It's Wednesday. We're going to leave Friday. Do you want to come with us? And they said, sure. So all of a sudden, this idea on a Wednesday afternoon became us going to Boston for a long weekend. Now it ended up being, it was also the July 4th long weekend, and they had this whole party on the at the waterfront there in Boston. Yeah. I messaged my audience to say, hey guys, I'm coming to Boston. Haven't been in a while. Don't really know anybody. What should I do? Mm-hmm. And from there, we did a meetup at a coffee shop. A bunch of people introduced me around, and I did a speaking gig at a local speaking house. And on the way back, we then decided, hey, that was awesome. Let's plan out our next run. And then in January, we left for Nina quit her job, and we left for 3 months, 90 days, 23 cities tour across the U.S., which was awesome.
So that parlayed into something else?
Yeah, because while I love riding I wouldn't call it like vibrational waves. I'm trying to speak in a way like that I'm feeling
you created a wave.
But I ride it all the time. Right now, we are riding a wave right now. This is you and me together on the same wave riding. And then we're gonna go and like ride off on different waves afterwards.
That idea brought a bunch of ideas which caused a positive, I know what you mean.
This is it. And on the way home, we drove from Toronto to Boston. It's like 10 hours, 9-10 hours. On the way back, while we're feeling the high of this awesome thing that just came together out of nowhere, like last week, we're just living our normal life, and now we just had this amazing 4-day weekend in Boston. On the way home, we put into motion the next thing that we were going to do, which was Nina quitting her job and us going on this tour starting in January. If we had gotten home, we would fall back to who we used to be,
right,
and not have taken the action. So, like,
but
while you're on
July,
the way,
then January was your next trip, so there was a lot of time. But
we would have fallen back into life. So while you're feeling like, I'm a big believer that the ideas that come to you when you're feeling bold, confident, aligned, in vibration, when ideas come to you, those are the best ones for you, and then your brain talks you down from doing them.
Yeah.
So while you're feeling it, you need to go and do it. Otherwise, you put up the block. Like saying, that would kill me to say in December. It's August right now. In December, you're gonna have changed as a human 8,000 times, right?
Yeah. I agree totally.
And who knows if LA is a place for you or not?
Yeah.
But you need to get there, and so I would figure out a way. And if it costs a lot to fly, great, then you drive. Like, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money to do this stuff.
Well, no, but what is it? Tony Robbins says, it's not a matter of resources, it's a matter of resourcefulness, right? If you want to do something, you find the means, right?
Always.
So you make it happen.
Yeah. So you're just putting up too many blocks. Like, you're feeling it.
Yeah.
You got to go, just do it.
Yeah.
It's the smallest possible way, right? That's it. Like, it doesn't mean you go and you spend $100,000 trying to get to LA and back, right? You don't have to fly first class. You don't have to be in crazy hotels. But you can get anybody can get to LA. So you get out there and you see. And not trying to plan what you're going to do there if you don't know yet. Maybe it's homelessness and you can start, and that's your first plan. And then again, like, you'll just by being there, you're going to adjust a million times.
Yeah. What does Bob Proctor have, that 3-3-3 rule? You know, that if you were locked in a room with a certain people and you had to come up with an idea, and you weren't going to leave the room until you had the idea, and negative ideas were just off the table, you had to come up with only good ideas, you would solve the problem. So so you have a whiteboard and markers, and you just throw out only positive ideas of how you can solve the problem. You will come up with a solution, and therefore you just brainstorm and spitball until you come up with a way of finding the resources to do whatever it is that you need to do.
You could be in LA this weekend if you wanted to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. My energy is so high right now. I'm so excited. I'm going to the bank. So they are going to be they're going to pay me. I'm going to show them my new business and tell them what I've been up to and see what, yeah, because I went through all of this stuff that I'm talking about. The reason why I want to help people is something that I went through, experienced. And my darkest time was a good experience because, it taught me what I was made out of. I went from being privileged, living in a bubble, to losing everything, because of giving up everything for one thing. And just realizing that I'm one of the lucky ones because I found recovery. And, I just see so many people who don't get it, who don't, like recovery. And I think, there are, when I see, people who don't get it, I know that it's time to reach out on a vibrational level to all the people who are with all of the abundance that we have, especially in the United States, to see, I guess, from what I hear, like in Honolulu or in Los Angeles, they have the vast acreage of tent city of people who are homeless in this country. It's,
what was the answer for you? Like, how did you get out of how did you get into recovery? Sorry, out of addiction. What was the thing? I'm sure you tried a million things. What helped?
I really didn't. I heard on YouTube about meditation and prayer. And stopped feeling sorry for myself. I heard this woman she was a nun in an AA meeting, and she said 7 words that changed my life. She said, and it changed my entire perspective of the story that I was saying over and over and over again. These 7 words changed my life. It was a nun who had been an alcoholic, right? And she was now in recovery. She said, when the horse is dead, get off.
What you've come through is an impossibility to a lot of people. Imagine, like, who you used to be to look at who you are now is impossible. Like, most people would think it's not possible. Even maybe old you would think that who you are now is not possible.
Yeah.
And yet it happened.
I know.
And it's not just some fluke that's a one-off that only happened to you. It's teachable.
It's teachable. It's repeatable. It's duplicatable. Yeah, it is.
And there are some people who, AA won't work for them.
I know.
But your thing will.
Yeah.
But meditation and prayer will. Like those 7 words plus everything else you did, of whether it's daily meditation or special, music or chants or, your style, whatever worked for you, is teachable.
It is, yeah. And I want to provide it for free. I want to build a center in those 2 places, LA and Honolulu, a center free of charge, and have all of the the latest and greatest minds to create the systems, and change one mind at a time, and have them turn around and teach the next person.
So that's the big wave that we're riding, and it's like it's paddling out on the little wave right now to get started. Right. Yeah. So the vision is to have lots of big names, learning and teaching.
Well, not the big names. The big names have to be a secret, because otherwise everybody's going to want to come, right? Even everybody's going to want to pay and say, "Hey, let me in," right? Because that has to be a secret.
Awesome, but like the bigger vision is to have a team. Is to have lots of people.
Teams, right.
But the starting point is you.
Yeah, little old me, right?
Yeah, you started. You're forced to be reckoned with.
Yes, why not? Why not?
So that's the starting point. And then so it's thinking about the big. Some people see the big vision, but then it gets so overwhelmed by it, and it's like, well, I can't do that unless I raise $1 million or
you can raise money.
Do it.
No, right? No.
So you start.
Anybody
you
can
start
do it.
with what you've got, where you're at,
right?
and then next step is one team member, and then 2 team members, and then 20 team members.
If I had the thought, other people have had the thought, right? So I can call them in.
Yeah, most people don't have the courage to follow the thought because they block it. They get stuck in their head.
No, it's time. Yeah.
They say in December, I'll do it.
Exactly. I'm going to do it now. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I met you. That's why I met you.
This is it. I mean, and that's the lesson for you. It's still the lesson for me. It's a lesson for everybody to trust those genius ideas, to not doubt them. I try to lean in on them as much as possible. You know, like I could be having a shower and I'm thinking about somebody from high school. Like, why? Like, I just woke up and having a shower. Why am I thinking about, you know, John from high school?
Right.
I don't judge it. I'll get out of the shower and I'll just send a message to John. Like, hey, John,
really?
it's
Inspired
been
action.
25 years since I've seen you.
Wow.
And then I'll lean in like, hey, I was thinking about you in the shower this morning.
Really?
And I hope you're okay. You know, and sometimes that leads to awesome things. And sometimes that alone is the gift. Like, don't judge it that it has to be some big thing that now John and I are business partners. Like,
right.
That alone, that even this alone of this, we're riding this wave together, you know, for 25 minutes.
Right.
And maybe I become a partner in your business and we're lifelong friends.
Right.
Or maybe we never see each other again. Right. It's like, it's not judging that this has to be the thing. It's appreciating that, hey, we were riding this wave together for that moment in time.
Synchrodestiny. Isn't it Deepak Chopra who wrote Synchrodestiny? About, you know, moments in time. They come together. We don't know why. And, you know, listen. And, yeah, just don't judge it. Like you said, I love that. Don't judge it. Just allow.
Because that's a gift. It's like just that email to John in those 8 minutes it takes is the gift. This is a gift. Whether anything else happens with us afterwards or not. Like this alone is the gift. You going to LA doesn't have to be some giant thing that has to work out and be your next big thing.
Right.
Just going there and experiencing it. And if you spend 3 days and come back, that was still a gift.
Or what if I go and just decide, you know what, I'm not going back.
For sure. But that's what people default to thinking like this has to be, the problem is putting so much pressure that this LA trip has to be my next thing. Otherwise I'm depressed or it's over.
So true.
That could just be like, that's why I'm saying reduce the barrier to get on the wave. Because if you don't have expectations that this has to be the thing, like going for 3 days and coming home was still a big win, was still a gift, is exactly what you needed.
Expectations and serenity, you know, have you heard that?
Yeah.
How, you know, they're in equal proportion. I lost my train of thought of how expectations, if you raise them and lower your serenity, I'm not explaining it properly, but
it's letting go of expectations will lead to a lot more serenity.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, and
I didn't realize that at all, that I was setting myself up. I've got a picture of a vision of my house that I want to live in. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, we can see it.
And so I look at it constantly. So imagine the expectation I have that I dream of that house every morning in my meditations.
There's nothing wrong with having, like, I think it's great. There's nothing wrong with having a big dream, a big mission, a big vision, a big life that you want to have for yourself. The problem is getting attached to the how.
Like, you have no idea how.
You have no idea how.
No idea how.
What a lot of people would do is say, okay, I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to open the center and then that's going to get me my dream home. You're planning the how. You're judging the how already.
No, I know my why, but I don't know my how.
That's not how it's going to work out.
Yeah.
Like, you might go to LA for 3 years and then meet somebody who becomes an investor who moves you out to Ohio for another 3 years and then you buy your Maui beachfront. Like, who knows?
Sure.
Don't get attached to the how. The why is awesome. The how, you're not, like, nobody's smart enough. You're fighting. You're fighting the energy. You're literally fighting the energy to say that you know how it's going to work out.
Right.
So you surrender to that. But you're stubborn about, like, I'm going to get this. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to wake up every day and I'm going to find a way.
Yep. Yes. And today.
Today.
I love it.
Cool. All right.
Yay. It's
Well,
great
good luck
to be
riding your
impulsive.
wave.
Some days it's good to be impulsive. Other days it's not.
That's where it comes back down to, is this an ego-driven decision or not?
Yes.
Because being impulsive in service of other people is almost never the wrong decision.
Right. Yeah. I have to check myself.
It's a simple question. Is this going to serve somebody? Is it going to help somebody other than myself here? And if it's yes, then go do it.
I should print that out and frame it.
I like it. Do it. There's another idea. Trust that idea.
Yeah.
You just got another signal. Go make it happen. Print that thing off today.
I will.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You got it.
Yay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right.
Take care. Much
Namaste.
love.
Okay.
If you want to see another awesome one-on-one I did with an entrepreneur just like you, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.